here's one tip for you before we get started. So welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. I was gonna work on the fence today, and we still might here in just a little while, but it looks like Mother Nature's trying to decide what she wants to do. Let me show you. So according to the weatherman, who's not always right, we're supposed to have some really bad storms coming from that direction, and they're supposed to be here in about 30 minutes. But who knows? The radar does show them in that direction, but you never know with the weather around here. It changes all the time, and sometimes they never get it right. So instead of heading down to the fence job and getting stranded out there in a storm here in about an hour or so, we're gonna work up here at the shop until Mother Nature decides what it's gonna do. It's been odd weather this year at the farm. All right, so before I show you guys what I've been working on, let me show you the mower that we bought the other day. Check that out right there. Not sponsored, paid full price. Skag has no idea who I am, trust me. What you're looking at is a Skag Cheetah 2. And this is a zero-turn mower. It's got a 72-inch deck right there on the bottom. It's got a suspension seat. A really nice mower. I used it yesterday for the first time and it done a really good job. 38.5 horsepower Kawasaki gas engine. And this mower wasn't cheap. For you guys that are interested, it was about $16,000. But here's the main reasons why we bought an expensive mower like that. Number one is time. It used to take me all day to mow the yards here. Yesterday, it cut that time in half. So therefore, I'm saving, 4 hours. If you look at an 8-hour workday, let's say it takes 8 hours to mow these yards, which it usually does. It took 4 hours yesterday. And it will probably take less amount of time once I get better on this mower. I've never drove a zero turn before. I'm kind of slow on them. So when you think about that, spring, summer, and early fall when you're mowing, if you can take away half of your mowing time, that's a big deal because you can be doing something else that makes you money instead of mowing yards all day. That's a really big plus right there. And the second reason is for taxes. If you own a business like this, friends, like a farm, or even just a large YouTube channel with a lot of equipment, you gotta spend money and buy equipment for that tax benefit. And this right here is gonna be great for that. I always try to buy a few big ticket items every year for tax benefits, but most of the time it's something I do need. But I'm really glad it's here. This is something we've been needing for a long time. And I'll tell you what, guys, it was expensive, but this should be the last mower hopefully I have to buy for the next 20 to 30 years. Key word is hope. So friends, up here in the shop, this is something I started on yesterday and it's been long overdue. Shiplap on the walls. So this is what we're gonna work on, guys. Put some more of this shiplap up. I started this yesterday. And the reason you see this discrepancy here in this wall is because this one's flat against the metal right there on the outside of the building. Of course, I do have insulation on it. This part right here is sticking out about 6 inches because I have our panel right here, and that's built out from the wall. In case I ever want to run any circuits through the back or need access through the back of the panel, which I probably won't, but you never know. So therefore, I'm leaving kind of a void right here between the insulation and the shiplap so I can get in behind here if I ever need to. And that's the only section of this wall in the shop that's going to be built out like that. The rest of it is going to be flat against the metal, but I am insulating it. I have some insulation, my goodness. I have insulated bubble wrap right there between the metal and the wood for condensation. And then on top of that, I'm putting 1 inch of this little, what's this stuff called? Engineered for Efficiency. It's R-Tech. It's like a rigid foam, pretty much. It's kind of expensive, but it's not too bad. And that gives us a little insulation as well and another barrier between the metal and the inside of the shop. And as soon as I work myself over to that panel, we're going to go up with the ladder and do these next 2 sections right here. Then this 12-foot section will pretty much be done. And guys, here's one tip for you before we get started. If you're planning on building a shop, if you can afford it, finish the shop before you move in. Don't do what I did. I got this shop built just over a year ago, and I'm just now doing the walls because I really didn't have the time to get the shiplap made and installed, but to be honest with you guys, I should have made the time, because once you move into that shop, it is a real pain to move stuff away from the wall, put up your shiplap or whatever you're doing, plywood or metal, who knows what, and then put your stuff back against the wall. It's a real pain. I should have done this way before I moved in. When this building was done, I should have took an extra month, even if I had to shut the cameras off in the sawmill, and completely finish this building where it's turnkey and then move in. So if you're building a shop out there and you got the time and the money, completely finish it and then move in. Guys, we're not finished, but I'm far along enough that I can go ahead and bring my toolbox over here and put it right there against the wall and get it out of my way. And then probably later tonight or tomorrow, I need to come in here and move all this somewhere else. And we can continue on right here and finish that gap. But I can't get in there until all this stuff is out of the way. And I'll do that later off camera. I'm not gonna bore you guys to death with that. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I'm not putting any finish on this poplar. I don't think it needs anything on it, guys. This is fresh out of the molder right here. Nothing on it. But let me point out something right here. I got a nick on that wood-sided, my goodness, on my Wood-Mizer 4-sided molder that makes this shiplap. I have a nick in the top cutter, and you can see it on these boards right here. See that little line going down through there? I left that on there on purpose. Gives it some character, but I do need to fix that blade. But the top cutter head, which is a bird helical cutter head, has a little bit of a nick on one of the cutters, and that comes through on your lumber right there. Now, if I was selling this to somebody, of course I wouldn't sell it, or I'd mark it down and show it to them first. But I do need to go down there to the wood shop and change out that one cutter. But other than that, guys, I think this looks really good. And also, friends, let me answer a question right here. I got this on Instagram just a few minutes ago when I put up this picture of the shiplap. They said, why are you running your boards up and down? Why not horizontally? Well, here's why. The reason we're doing these vertical is because this is a shop. There's tons of dust in here. And if you have shiplap run horizontally, that dust gets in this joint right here really bad, really bad. It still gets in there when it's vertical like this, but it's nowhere near as worse as if I had the boards running this way. This way right here is a whole lot better, in my opinion. But if you're doing your own shop or your house, do it the way you want to. And I think it looks better when you run these vertically. What do you guys think? Do you like them running this way or this way? Let me know down in the comments below. My goodness, this toolbox is heavy. If you guys will remind me here in just a minute, I got a new addition to the toolbox I bought just the other day. All right, guys, that looks pretty good. And keep in mind, all this stuff right here is going to be moved against the wall as well. But here's the new addition to the toolbox. One reason I really like these Harbor Freight General toolboxes, this is actually the series number 3. You can add on to it. And the other day, I got one of these lockers. I've been wanting to get one of these for a long time, and I was putting it off because they never had black in stock. I don't know when they're ever going to get black in stock, but they had gray, so I went with that because I really don't care if it matches in colors at all, just to be honest with you. But this is a nice addition. It hangs right there on the side of the toolbox, just like this little cart right here does, or this little chest of drawers rather. I'm not sure why I call that a cart, but it's a pretty nice little accessory to this toolbox. Kind of expensive, it was $400, but I think it's worth it. Look at all that space right there. It's about 22 inches deep. All the shelves are adjustable, and it's got a drawer right there on the bottom. A really good place to put all these sets, like this socket set, my little Milwaukee vacuum cleaner or shop vac, whatever you want to call that, my Milwaukee fan. I'm a Milwaukee guy in case you haven't noticed. But little sets of impacts and stuff like that, just stuff that comes in these cases right here, and you have nowhere to put them. Well, this locker is a good answer for that. Not an endorsement or not a paid endorsement by Harbor Freight. They have no idea who I am, but I tell you what, they sure make some nice toolboxes that are pretty affordable. Although that does creak just a little, but I can live with it. That's a nice addition right there. Should have got it a long time ago. Also, guys, have you ever heard of these things called tubbo towels? Tubby towels? Tubbo towels? I'm not sure how you even say that, but I'm pretty sure I couldn't live without them. Not sponsored by these guys, but I finally found a way or something I could use to hang these up in the shop and not have them just sitting around everywhere. And that is an official Tubbo Towels, I think I'm saying that right, but I'm probably not, holder right there. I couldn't find these on Amazon or anywhere, and I looked on their website and there they were. Pretty cheap, they're about $15. That's the same price for that right there, complete canister full of them. I think there's 90 in there. Well, this right here solves a problem, guys, because those Tubbo towels, or tubby towels, whatever they're called, my goodness, they work really good. I keep these at the Sawmill, in the wood shop. I keep them everywhere. If you never used these before, do yourself a favor and go buy some. The cheapest place I found them is on Amazon. I'll leave a link down below. But if you want this holder, it's only sold by the official company right there, so just go to Google and try to find it, or maybe I'll try to find the link to that as well. But anyways, that does solve a problem, because that right there is something you just lay down when you get done using it and you forget where it's at. So now we got ourselves an official holder right there. Let's put it up real fast. There we go. They sent 2 screws, but I think that's overkill. One should be plenty good enough. So friends, it looks like the weatherman got it wrong. I've been working in the shop for about 2 hours on that wall, and it's barely rained a drop out here. So it looks like we're headed up to the field to work on that fence. You guys hang in there. All right, guys, I've got my fence post quota done for the day. I also was able to finish up some H braces. Got that one done and that one way down there. And I got 2 more posts to set on this line right here, and this stretch right here will be finished. I need to put that one in and that one over there. And I'll be honest with you, I had them set already, but they were crooked. When I was pulling my string the other day for these posts where I was marking them, the wind was blowing pretty good and my plumb bob was not accurate. I should have waited for better conditions, but I hurried up on that. Now I get to do it twice. So learn from me. If the wind's blowing, wait till it's not. Your fence post will not be straight if you do. So friends, I am done for the day, but we did get a lot done. We got some of that shiplap put up, moved my toolbox over, and got my fence post quota for the day. That's real important. I'm trying to get at least 6, if not 10 fence posts installed every day up here at this little fencing project. And before you know it, we'll have this fence done. We'll have cows up here. I'm hoping to have this done by the start of summer. And then I have a vacation planned around June. So I'll probably wait till I get back from my vacation before I go buy the cows, more than likely. That way I'm here and I'm not, you know, several hours away kind of worrying about it. So that's the plan for the cows. And the barn, we're going to be starting sooner than later. I know a few videos back I told you guys I would tell you about the barn design. Well, I changed my mind. That's a shocker. But I'll tell you guys about it here soon enough, because I'll probably change my mind once again. But anyways, guys, I am done for the day. Bruno's on spring break this week, so we got plans this afternoon. And I'm going to get out of here and get up to the house and get cleaned up and see what he's got in store for us. And also, guys, before we go, it's fertilizing time here at the farm, and let me know down in the comments below if you guys want me to video that. I think I'll be going here in about 2 or 3 days to buy my fertilizer, and I'm really dreading it because it's going to be expensive. But let me know down in the comments below if you guys want me to video that, because we'll be putting the fertilizer my goodness, I can't talk, fertilizer spreader on the Kubota for the first time, and getting out here and fertilizing all these fields. Just let me know down in the comments below yes or no on that, no big deal. So guys, in closing here, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you don't care, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. And I'll see you guys back here on the next video.